Hey guys, what's going on? It is your boy, Mid Gamer, back again with another video. And today we are going to be making what we would call either a part 2 or maybe an add-on video to my original top 10 tips for beginners for Jurassic World Mid Game. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hope you guys enjoy, and just for those of you who haven't already realized, this is not one of my usual story time videos. I decided to make another Jurassic World the Game video. I felt like I was neglecting that part of my audience. So, yeah, don't worry, another story time video will probably be coming out either this week or the next. But, yeah, don't worry guys, I got you. Anyway, for my Jurassic World the Game people, feel free to, skip a bit ahead, maybe 30-ish seconds if you don't care about my park or anything. But if you just want to get straight to the tips, just do that. Anyway, so a few things have happened to my park. I think I've gotten an extra revenue tower, and also I have managed to get a few more hybrids. So I've gotten Spinoraptor, Ophiuchromis, and Tropicathorus. So yeah, those are pretty cool. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into the tips and tricks now, and yeah, let's get it. Tip number 1 for the mid game is gotta be Horde, okay? And you're probably wondering, what do you mean by Horde? Well, what you're really going to want to do is hoard your resources. And, of course, that means having lots of gold, lots of food, and lots of bucks. Now, some of you say, oh, why would I hoard it? Because I need to spend it on my dinosaurs. Here's the thing, right? You shouldn't spend just for the sake of spending. If you can get something without spending a resource, that should be the way you do it. One big mistake that a lot of beginner players make, and one big mistake that I made, even in this recording just now, was I spent bucks. Now, I spent bucks for the sake of, showing you guys the video that it's bad. But anyway, you should not spend bucks for no reason, okay? The reason being, for the first few levels of your food factory, you can upgrade it with just gold, okay? But once it gets to level 6, to upgrade to level 7, that's going to cost you 1,500 bucks. And to upgrade to level 8, that's going to cost you 3k. Alright? And you probably won't have those bucks if you're just spending them on, like, getting hybrids faster and stuff. Really, I would easily recommend saving them, because really the best thing you want to use your bucks for is probably tournaments. I would say either tournaments or PvP. PvP's not great, but tournaments is probably the way to go if you are going to spend your bucks. Or if you really do want to speed something up, I suppose you could speed up maybe the occasional hybrid. But first things first, try to get on top of your food factory. The only other thing I could see you using bucks for is getting extra incubators so you could hatch more things at once. Okay? Also, DNA, very coveted resource, alright? In the early game, you're probably thinking, well, DNA is not that important. DNA is very important. Once you get to the late game, things start costing a lot of DNA. Spinoraptor, one Spinoraptor costs 9.5k DNA, alright? That's kind of ridiculous. That's a lot of DNA. One Tropicathorus costs 14k. Alright, you need to have a lot of DNA. I have a friend who plays this game, and he hoards a lot of his resources. He got to level 8 before me, even though he started playing the game a month afterward. Okay? It's just so much smarter. It'll allow you to progress a lot faster if you just hoard your resources. Okay. Tip number 2 has got to be having good level dinosaurs, okay? And by that, I mean, you want to have specific dinosaurs at specific levels. Now, I know I touched on this a bit in my earlier video, but really, you want to have specific dinosaurs at certain levels. A Langosaurus, you want to try and get that as quickly as possible, alright? That's a really important hybrid. It's one of the best carnivores you get in the game early on. You recommend just get that thing, get that to level 20 or 30, no need to max it out, and it should serve you well. Once again, it does like 200-ish damage, has 400-ish health. Really good for a lot of the mid game. I mean, for a lot of the early game. Now, obviously, moving into the mid game, and what I would consider the mid game is about 28-ish, maybe 30-ish, round about there. Basically, once you unlock BDNA, I would say you are in the mid game. Maybe some would even say it's once you unlock Super DNA. But anyway, you definitely want to have decent level dinosaurs. Like, also, and what I really mean by that is having a few of them. Like, trikes, okay? I have 5 level 40 trikes in my park. Actually, I think it might be 6. Why do I have so many trikes, you may ask? It's because they make a lot of damn money. Every 5 minutes they pop out 10k. So assuming my average play session's maybe 10 minutes, then you go flipping 20k just while you're playing. Really, you don't have to wait for anything. It's not the most gold ever produced in the game, but it is going to be one of the best ways to make money early on in the game. So if you have spare resources, I would say put it towards trikes, but don't spend bucks. Alright. Also, another thing you want to do is you're going to want to try and get 15 dinosaurs at level 40 as soon as possible. The reason for this is there is a massive roadblock in one of the quests for the 30-ish levels, it could be around 40, where you need to have 15 level 40 dinosaurs. I did not. I only had like 6. And that slowed me down massively in the game. Easily, one of the best things you could do is have a bunch of level 40 dinosaurs. Okay, tip number 3, okay? Farm Super DNA and BDNA, okay guys? Now, when I first started farming BDNA, there was only one boss out, Omega 09, but recently they have just released Juggernaut 16, I think it is. Anyway, Juggernaut 16 costs 16k. That is nearly 3 times as much as Omega 09. Okay? So, if I were you, I would recommend getting Omega 09 first, of course, and then not leveling him up. One mistake I made was I leveled up Omega 09, wasted some BDNA, and now it's taking me a bit longer to get Juggernaut. Right now I'm about 5k in, and you need 16k for a Juggernaut. So, yeah, just don't do what I did. Save your BDNA. Super DNA, on the other hand, farm as much of this as possible, okay? You want tons and tons of Super DNA. Because in the late game, that's going to help you out so much if you farmed it. Code 19s, do them, okay? I have not been doing mine. I have been slacking. Do not be me. I am so bad at this game, alright? I have not been doing well at all. You can be better than me, and that's why I made this video, to try and make players better than I was at this game. So, yeah, once you enter the late game, which I would consider to be about 50-ish, 60-ish, once you unlock Rex, I'd say you're in the late game. Anyway, another tip, alright? Don't level up garbage dinosaurs, alright? Things like the Velociraptor, garbage. Don't even touch that man, alright? Don't get him to level 40 unless you are trying to fuse Indominus soon. Because, whoo, that man is hot garbage, okay? If you're gonna get a Velociraptor to a high level, Velociraptor Gen 2. Okay? And you unlock that through events that come around relatively often. Just use that thing. It's got better stats. There are better carnivores than Velociraptor. Don't even touch him. In fact, I have a better raptor. I have flippin' Spinoraptor, who is better. One thing I will say about Spinoraptor, though, is you need both Utheraptor and Spinosaurus, both of which are event dinosaurs, which means you have to wait till they come around in the rotation, and then get each of them individually, which kind of sucks, I will admit. But, if you did manage to get them, I'd probably recommend fusing those two up. Second tip. Do not go for hybrids unless you are ready to go for hybrids. Okay? Tropicatherus. Alright? This guy that I got cost 14k to make another one. I spent 28k. Well, maybe not 28k, probably a bit more. So I spent all the DNA required to fuse him, and then another 14k just to get him to level 20. And he's a relatively strong dino. But even so, I barely need to use something that strong. Okay? Half the time, my Diplotator, which is way easier to get, only costs 4,000 to make. That thing covers the job half the damn time. Alright? Also, another thing. Try and get good amphibians and petrosaurs. Because if you get good carnivores... Because if you get good... what am I saying, bro? Good amphibians and petrosaurs. That will help you out a lot, because herbivores and carnivores are the most common types of dino. Okay? Or, as my friend who likes to hoard stuff likes to call them, veggie dinos. Those and carnivores are the most common. Amphibians and petrosaurs are the two less common classes. Alright? I would say petrosaur is probably more common than amphibian. I mean, there just aren't a lot of good amphibians. There are a few, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so you really want to try and get a few of those because one of the strongest dinosaurs in the game, actually the strongest dinosaur, purely stats-wise, is Indoraptor. Okay? Indoraptor is the strongest dino. And I'm talking about Indoraptor and Gen 2. They're both good. Indoraptor Gen 2 has slightly more health, but does a bit less damage. But that's fine because Indoraptor Gen 1 kills pretty much everything anyway. So, yeah. However, another thing. Don't fuse up things that don't need to be fused up. As I said that earlier, I think I might have gone over this again. But let me just re-elaborate on this. Instead of get dinosaurs to level 10. Say you have 2 hybrids, okay? Instead of fusing them into one more powerful hybrid that you can only use once and you have to wait 3 hours or whatever it is for them to recharge. Instead, just have 2 half as strong level 10s. Because that way, say you fail a battle. Then you still have another one you can use and you don't have to wait or use bucks to recharge him, okay? And probably the wrapping up tip for this video. I'm not sure how many tips this was. But anyway, wrapping up tip for this video is gotta be try and battle smart, okay? And what I mean by that is, say if I have a battle recording going on right now. If it is the first battle recording, I probably lost it. And the reason is because I was not playing smart. First thing you want to do, almost every time you go into a battle, reserve, okay? Reserve your first point nearly every time. Unless you go second, in which case, you'd probably go 1 shield, 1 reserve. Unless you know you can kill the opponent with a single attack, reserve. Because there's no point just dealing that extra damage for no reason, because you leave yourself open to a double attack, which in a lot of cases can one-hit kill. So you put 1 point into reserve. And another reason this is good is it fakes out the AI into thinking you put a point into block, which means they usually won't attack you because they know that if they attack you, it's not going to do a lot of damage. Second of all, alright, when you do this, it gives you an extra point for turn 2. So if they do decide to attack you, which if you have enough health to take the attack, say they double attack you, then you can then hit them with 3 attacks, which should usually wipe whatever you're fighting unless it's quite a bit stronger than you. 3 to 4 attacks usually kills anything of a similar amount of health and attack. Now, another thing is, if you do decide not to reserve, say you put shield or whatever because you're afraid of dying, you probably shouldn't be attempting that fight. Like, I know this is going to sound like, just back out, be a chicken, you know, but just speaking purely stats-wise, alright? Why are you trying to do a fight where you need to put 1 block to survive on the first turn? You'll die. Like, unless you do what I sometimes do, and you have a sacrificial dino at the start where you sacrifice him to reserve the point. And that way your stronger dino can come in with 3 points after the AI spends 2 points to kill your first dinosaur, thinking they put in a block. I sometimes do that, just like a level 1 trike in the front. If you're doing that, sure. But if you have, like, really good dinos of yours that are going to be one-tapped by whatever you're fighting, maybe that wasn't the best time to attempt such a fight. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm probably going to leave it there for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. And if this video gets 20 likes, I will put out another one. Otherwise, I'll just put it out when I feel like it. But if we can get 20 likes, I will immediately put out the next Jurassic World game video. And it will be top 10 best dinos for early game. And then after that, top 10 best dinos for mid. If you guys are down for that, let's go. So just the definition. I define mid game as 28 to 30 plus. Up until about you unlock Rex, which is like close to 60. I would call that mid game. Early game is anything below that, and late game is anything afterward. Anyway, thanks a lot for your support, guys. If you are a mid game player, I hope this helped you out. If you are an early game player, I hope this helps you figure out what you're heading towards. And if you are a late game player, you didn't really need to watch this, but I appreciate your support. Later, guys.